In this video, we are going to be changing the timing belt both with and without the locking kit on the 1 litre, 1.2 and 1.4 TSI engine that is fitted to Volkswagen, Audi, Škoda and Seat. So, first up, let's do it without the lock tools. And to be honest, is a really nice job. So, let's get started. The first thing to remove is the induction pipe across the top of the engine. This just unclips at the front, 2 plastic clips here and then 2 at the other end, just down here. And be sure to unclip the airflow sensor. That now gives us better access to the top. Now we're going to disconnect the wiring harness on the header tank and then just unclip the header tank and move it to the side. There are 2 pipes going across the front of the engine. These can be unclipped. They are quick release to make better access to the top timing cover. And here's a close-up of the couplings. And now, with these moved aside, we should be able to access the upper timing cover clips. There's one at the front, one at the back, and then just a Torx 30 at the top. And with that unclipped, the upper timing cover should just lift away, and this will reveal the timing belt and the upper pulleys. You will just be able to see the tensioner at the bottom left hand side. You can just see it here. To make things a lot easier, we're going to remove the front casing. So just start by removing the bracket on the left hand side, and then there's a pump on the right hand side, just a couple of 13mm bolts, then the Torx bolt holding the water pipe. And that should be everything off the engine mount. We're now going to concentrate on the underside. So support the vehicle and then remove the inner wheel arch liner and lower engine cover. You'll need a T25 on a decent buzz gun for this. And then we can get the auxiliary belt out of the way. This tensioner is spring loaded, so just using a suitable spanner and then a pin, you will be able to lock this off and then the belt will freely come off. Unbolt and remove the tensioner. And now we can concentrate on moving the alternator to the side so that the front cover will come off. Just remove the top bolt and loosen the bottom bolt, and then using a suitable pry bar, just bar it to the right slightly. Now, before we go any further, we're going to mark both the top cams. We're going to mark the back plate, the pulley and the belt. And we're going to duplicate these marks on the new belt. I like to add a reference mark, so I just put a T on representing the top on the actual belt, so then that way we know exactly where the belt was when it came off. Back underneath with a decent impact gun, use an 18mm double X socket and remove the bottom pulley bolt. And once that's off, you can concentrate on getting the bottom cover off. Just a few Torx 30 bolts and then we'll have access to the bottom of the timing belt. And as before, get your Tipp-Ex out and mark the bottom pulley, belt and back plate. This job can be done without removing the engine mounting block, but I always prefer to do it. I find it much easier. So let's support the engine safely and we'll start removing the bolts on the engine mount at the top and the remaining bolts that hold it to the block. I find removal easier if you twist it 90 degrees to the left, and then it should just lift upwards. And now you're going to have full access to the timing belt. And because everything's marked up, all we need to do now is release the tension on the tensioner and then take off the timing belt and the idler and then duplicate those marks off that timing belt onto the new belt and then refit the belt. And because we've duplicated the marks, there's no reason the timing should be any different from how it was when we removed the original belt, and will normally have no effect on the engine's performance or running, but on some vehicles it can cause problems, which is why we sometimes use a locking kit, and I will be covering this later on in this video, which I certainly recommend on the 1 litre 3-cylinder. This can cause vibrations if not timed up correctly. Back to the job, let's tension the belt up. So using some slip joints, not ideal, but will do the job. Just make sure you turn the tensioner so that the pointer aligns correctly here. Just make sure that the tensioner sits in the lug at the back also, so it is seated correctly. Once you're happy with that, let's get the engine turned 2 complete full revolutions on the crankshaft, and just make sure that the timing marks on the back plate and the pulleys align with your original markings. And then all that remains to do is rebuild in reverse order, and then everything should run as it did before. How did you find the process? Well, let's try and do it again, but let's do it with the correct locking tool. Welcome back to How to Fix It. In this video, we're going to show you how to correctly time the 1 litre TSI engine with the correct locking tool kit. You may not be aware, but there is a lot of information about this engine having problems if not timed up correctly. You are going to want to watch till the end because there's quite a few helpful tips along the way. Before the engine is locked with the locking tool, there is one visual reference that you will need to pay attention to first, and this relates to the cam pulleys seen here. The cam tool should now locate. Take note of the notches on the back of the tool. The cam sprocket tool can only be fitted when these are in the correct position. Then the cams on the rear of the engine will lock like this. Then the remaining crankshaft tool fits in the rear of the engine of the crankcase here. Now that the engine is locked, the timing belt, idler and tensioner can be removed. Now comes the important part. In order to correctly time the engine, we need to remove the covers on the cam pulleys. Then the pulleys can be loosened so that there can be slight adjustments made. This will allow the pulleys to move freely. Now, ensuring that the locking tool on the rear of the engine is in place, check that the locking tool is firmly located in the back of the cam. You can see the marks on the tool from a previous timing belt replacement. Ensure that the crank tool is located correctly by turning the crankshaft anti-clockwise slightly and checking that the tool is tight into the block ensures that this is correctly fitted. Then turn the crank clockwise until it locks up against the tool. Now, with all the lock tools in place, all that remains to do is refit the timing belt. It is worthwhile marking the belt the same as the previous belt. Those of you that have watched my previous videos will know I do this all the time. Push the belt lastly onto the bottom idler pulley and ensure even fitment throughout. All the marks should line up nicely. With the belt fitted correctly, we now need to tension the timing belt. This is easily done just using the supplied wrench in the timing belt locking kit. This is turned clockwise and can be seen here. Just ensure that the pointer lines up together like so. With correct adjustment, tighten the remaining bolt on the tensioner. All that's left to do now to correctly tension the belt is retighten the cam pulley bolts. These will need tightening to 50 Newton meters. So to be certain that we've got it timed up correctly, remove all the timing locking pins, turn the crankshaft 2 full revolutions and recheck and refit all the locking tools. Now you should be happy that the belt is refitted and correctly timed, and all that remains to do is rebuild in reverse order. And while we're here, we'll have a go at changing the water pump. You've already stripped some of it down nearby if you've done the timing belt with the kit. Let's get to the job. To allow access to the water pump, I would recommend removing the battery and the battery tray. This is easily done, as can be seen here. Just remove the terminal and the battery casing at the bottom. There's only 4 to 5 bolts to remove the bottom tray. And here is where we will find the said water pump. You will need to remove the air filter and the ducting along the top of the engine on the right hand side. This just unclips and is removed quite easily. You can see some of the clips here on the top pipe that goes to the throttle body. Then really all there is to it is just removing all the water pipes and the clips. I recommend removing the bottom hose and draining the cooling system first. Then you will need to remove the upper timing belt cover for the water pump. Just a couple of bolts on this, and this gains access to the timing belt. Don't be put off here though, because this belt isn't timed, it is literally just a drive belt. Then all that's left to do is remove the bolts holding the thermostat housing, water pump housing, to the cylinder head block. Then a little bit of pressure to wiggle the water pump away. Maybe a little bit tight, but it will come off. And then that's it, the water pump is removed. Just obviously access the timing belt and just ensure its condition. You may want to replace this when you rebuild it with the new water pump. Give the mating surface a really good clean, ready for the new water pump. And then it may also be worth changing the seals on the water pump, as seen here. These should come with the new water pump anyway. You can see that this one has been leaking slightly on the drive pump here. There are 2 seals, one on the block and one between the thermostat housing and the water pump. When refitting the water pump, just fit the timing belt onto the pump drive and then offer this up to the cylinder block, and then just fit this around the pulley on the engine. Once it's in place, fasten the pump back onto the side of the cylinder head. If you're unsure that the belt's fitted correctly, you could always turn the crankshaft and make sure that the belt is turning the water pump correctly. And all that's left to do now is rebuild everything in reverse order. Put your pipes back on and then pressurise the cooling system and refill with fresh coolant. Here's a few reasons why you may need to change this water pump. 1, it could be leaking. 2, the thermostat could be faulty. 3, the drive belt for the water pump has snapped or broken. And 4, maybe you're just changing the timing belt and the drive belt has come with the timing belt kit and you just want to change it for peace of mind. So there you go, the timing belt with the timing belt locking kit and without, with the addition of the water pump replacement as well. What did you think? How did it go? Why not leave us a comment below? All questions welcomed, and I'll do my best to help you. Please check out our Linktree page. There's some products and the tools that were used in this job, and there are the best prices that I found online currently when this video was being published. All that's left for me to do is to wish you well with the repair. I hoped that it made you make the right decision of the way to do the repair. I really appreciate all the comments and likes, and I hope you really enjoyed the videos too. Thanks for watching. This has been How to Fix It, and here are some other TSI videos that you can watch right now.